News 25 is brought to you by Bees Embroidery and Garment Printing, specializing in custom and personalized decoration of gifts, garments, and more. Call 775-727-9444. News is also brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law. Call 727-9900 today for your free consultation. If you need a lawyer, you need Nelson.
Tonight, Nevada Highway Patrol finishes a crash investigation and a man is arrested at Pahrump Valley High School. News 25 starts now.
This is News 25 with Deanna O'Donnell. News 25. Local coverage you can count on.
NHP says a heavy equipment operator is at fault for a bus crash. It's Wednesday, September 18th. I'm Deanna O'Donnell. Well, the operator of a piece of heavy construction equipment has been found to be at fault for a crash that injured several athletes from Pahrump Valley High School's junior Trojan football team. NHP says that the heavy equipment operator for Aggregate Industries has received a citation. The company was hired by Nevada Department of Transportation for road construction on Highway 160. Many parents have already hired legal counsel. Nevada Highway Patrol has completed their investigation regarding the Pahrump Valley High School bus crash that occurred on September 5th on Highway 160 at mile marker 36 around 11 p.m. On the bus was dozens of students and several staff members with the Pahrump Valley High School junior Trojan football team who were returning from a game in Las Vegas. According to Nevada Highway Patrol, the bus was traveling northbound on Highway 160 when it came into contact with a construction vehicle owned and operated by Aggregate Industries, who was contracted for road work from the Nevada Department of Transportation. After reviewing the school bus camera footage, it has been learned that the bus driver was not speeding at the time in the construction zone. Nevada Highway Patrol has determined that the crash appears to be the fault of Aggregate Industries. NHP reports that their investigation has concluded that the construction vehicle pulled out into traffic, causing the crash. A citation has been issued to the driver and operator of that vehicle for failure to yield the right-of-way. Several students have reported being injured as a result of this accident. Mercier transported 2 male students from the scene to a trauma center in Las Vegas. One other individual was transported by ground ambulance via Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue from the scene to Desert View Hospital, and another by ground ambulance from Pahrump Valley High School. Other individuals were transported by personal vehicles to local medical facilities. All injuries sustained as a result of this crash are non-life-threatening. All patients were treated and released from the hospital. Well, Nye County reports that airspace is now restricted outside Nevada National Security Site in Mercury to the town of Amargosa through the weekend. The Federal Aviation Administration has issued temporary flight restrictions for an area stretching from Mercury to Amargosa Valley, citing special security reasons ahead of this week's possible Storm Area 51 events. The restrictions run from 7 a.m. on Wednesday, September 18th through 8 p.m. on Sunday, September 22nd. The restricted area sets up a buffer zone for the Nevada National Security Site. The restrictions include the use of drones. Only aircraft working in support of the Department of Energy mission are allowed to enter the temporary flight restriction area. The only outside aircraft that will be allowed to fly in the area are law enforcement or emergency response personnel who have coordinated with Nellis Air Force Base. Well, 2 Dutch citizens were caught up in the middle of another incident here in Nye County. This one was the middle of a 3-vehicle crash on Highway 160. News 25 was waiting to pull out
Nevada
onto the
Highway
highway
Patrol is
this
investigating
afternoon
the cause
at
of a
Wheeler Pass
3-vehicle
Road when a diesel carrying a load of vehicles stopped in the travel lane, causing cars to go around the truck. One van waiting behind the truck was then struck from behind by a compact car, which was then struck by a pickup truck. Locally, no injuries were major injuries were reported.
Nevada Highway Patrol is investigating the cause of a 3-vehicle accident that occurred on Highway 160 near Wheeler Pass this afternoon. Medics assessed several individuals involved in this crash. All occupants declined to be transported to local medical facilities. Traffic was diverted around the accident by the Nye County Sheriff's Office deputies and auxiliary units.
More news after this.
This segment of the news is brought to you by Pahrump Cardiology, located at 1397 South Loop Road in Pahrump, Nevada. Call 775-210-8333 for an appointment. Dr. Tali Eric, proudly serving Pahrump since 2005.
Welcome back. Well, FedEx is hoping the holiday shipping may help their bottom line in today's business news.
Here's Angela Miles with today's Business First Brief.
Topping our news, Trading Places, our home base of Chicago Board Options Exchange, is on the move. The headquarters for Cboe Global Markets will relocate to Chicago's old post office. The options traders will work on a new trading floor at the Chicago Board of Trade building. The move is expected to happen in the second half of 2020. SeaWorld investors are watching a part of their investment float away. The stock plunged Tuesday in one of the biggest declines of the year. That's after the CEO resigned after just 7 months on the job. It was due to disagreements over the board's involvement in the company. FedEx failed to deliver on earnings. That stock tumbled after the company missed on estimates and lowered its 2020 guidance. FedEx shipping rates will jump nearly 5% on express shipping next year.
To find out where you can see us every day, go to businessfirstam.com.
Angela, well, here is Eunette Gentry with this week's court report.
In this week's court report, Damian McDaniel, a 19-year-old male, is arrested for the offenses of possession of a stolen vehicle, making a false statement to obstruct a public officer, and possession of less than 1 ounce of marijuana, first offense. An NCSO patrol officer pulled over McDaniel's vehicle after observing both a white small sedan and a reddish maroon SUV speeding while traveling southbound on State Route 160 near the Taco Bell. All 4 occupants of the small white sedan were restrained, and after that vehicle was reportedly stolen, police say a loaded .357 pistol was recovered along with a plastic baggie that held a green leafy substance that later tested presumptive positive as marijuana. McDaniel, who originally tried to give a false name to investigating officers, told police that the vehicle belonged to his girlfriend's family, then later confirmed to officers that the owner did ask for the vehicle back and that McDaniel refused to return it. McDaniel also said that the firearm did not belong to him, but was placed in the car possibly by his girlfriend's father. However, McDaniel did claim ownership of the marijuana. That vehicle was towed and McDaniel was booked into NCDC. During his first appearance in Justice Court, the court advised the defendant that probable cause was found and bail was set at $7,000 cash or bond. Additionally, the defendant was screened regarding his financial status and was appointed public defender attorney Nathan Gent to represent him. Attorney Gent motioned for an OR release, but the prosecutor opposed. However, the court granted that motion and released the defendant from custody with the following conditions. Number 1, no alcohol, no marijuana, and no illegal drug use. Number 2, no adverse contact with law enforcement. And number 3, make all court dates and times. Notably, however, formal charges in Justice Court are still pending for McDaniel. And an arraignment hearing that was set for September 10th was vacated even after McDaniel agreed to appear at that proceeding. Formal charges also remain pending in Justice Court for Edward Coronado, the area man arrested and initially charged with owning or possession of a gun by a prohibited person, assault with a deadly weapon, and discharging a gun in or on a public thoroughfare or in a public space. Coronado is accused of firing at a man near the Who's Dunes bar, and that man fired back and shot Coronado in both legs after Coronado reportedly yelled at that man's younger brother and cocked a pistol toward that man. Coronado has an active cash bail or bond, $50,000. Notably, Coronado was scheduled for an arraignment on September 9th, but that proceeding was vacated. A follow-up is now slated for November 1st. This has been your court report. I'm Eunette Gentry for News 25.
Thanks, Eunette. Well, Nevada Attorney General Aaron Ford has joined 19 other attorneys general to try to get answers regarding the status and oversight of the Medical Deferred Action Program. The program has allowed immigrants to apply to remain in the United States if they are in extreme medical need. Recently, the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services started issuing denial letters to applicants explaining that the agency is no longer overseeing the program. The release states that denial letters also informed applicants that they were required to leave the country in 33 days from the date of the denial or risk deportation. News 25 will return on the other side of this break.
You're watching KPVM News 25. Local coverage you can count on.
Well, a 21-year-old local man who was riding his bike by our local high school was arrested following an argument with some students.
Patrol members be advised.
Anthony Jinkle has been arrested by the Nye County Sheriff's Office. The 21-year-old was arrested on campus of Pahrump Valley High School after an altercation with students on scene. According to the report, on September 17th, Jinkle was riding his bike in the area of Pahrump Valley High School when he had some type of altercation with several students in the parking lot of the high school on Calvada Boulevard. The altercation escalated, and they say that Jinkle pulled out some sort of knife and threatened the students. Jinkle was arrested by the Nye County Sheriff's Office and has been charged with assault with a deadly weapon ×2, possession of a deadly weapon ×2 on school grounds, and 2 counts of child endangerment. He was transported to the Nye County Sheriff's Office Detention Center. Police say that Jinkle is not associated with the school staff or any students at Pahrump Valley High School.
Well, Richard Peck, who is the interim CEO of Valley Electric Association, is set to turn over the helm of the electrical cooperative. It's been a wild ride for Peck, who was asked to leave his home in Alaska to take over for BEA following the arrest of former CEO Angela Evans for embezzlement and a call for the entire board's resignation by members.
Basically, Deanna, I said back in March when we first met that I was here for the short term, and I was going to be here as long as I was needed by this board. And again, I'm extremely pleased that the board has decided that going forward, they really appreciate what I have done and how I put things back together again. And my ending of this existing 4-month contract is October 31st. This board has got things headed in the right direction, and I am so pleased to see the activities going on with the committees. Again, the issue that I found in March, there was a wall between the members of this cooperative and the board of this cooperative. And now my role has been to put both the membership and the board together, and these 4 committees are doing that. And again, I could be I'm extremely pleased by the overall way that things have come together, and I cannot give enough compliments to those individuals who have volunteered their time to be involved with these committees, and the board hearing out the members' concerns and direction they wish to go. And so again, I am extremely pleased. I did what I was going to do, and I'm doing what I said I was going to do. When the board feels that they're in really good shape, they're sending me home, and I couldn't be happier, and my wife is extremely happy to see me back home and again taking care of business in Alaska. Well, basically we have 4 committee structures, and let me just predate that. There was a group which I really appreciate. They were called the ambassadors. The ambassadors were set up as a kind of a response to measure what was out in the community and bring that information back to the CEO. Again, as I've always been in the cooperative enterprise, it's not what the CEO needs to get involved with, but really it is the relationship that the members have with the board. And so I recommended, and the board agreed, that we need to take a look at a finance committee. We were looking at a member liaison committee, a member policy committee, and we had another corporation out there called the foundation. Valley Electric Foundation that worked on the scholarships and came up with different ways to assist the members in this area, lower income members and whatever, if the communities were looking for donations. They're appointed for 1 year, and again, if they wish to be renominated or reconsidered for they have to submit their name. So the next year, the board in July, or actually in late May and June, will be asking people to serve on these new committees in July of 2020. And so again, I would hope that in my best wishes that, again, this will never ever be any separation between the owners and the board, and this is so important in the cooperative businesses that there is a positive relationship. And again, I came to my first board meeting, I think I had about 100 members. Mm-hmm. The last 2 board meetings, I've had 1 individual show up, 2 different individuals. So, we've made some tremendous strides, and thanks to the willingness to listen to the membership and put together these working committees that are making recommendations back to the board.
Will you be meeting with those candidates?
I will not be. I will be home in Alaska. That is, my last day is October 31st, Halloween appropriately. It's just been fun, and I've enjoyed my stay, and even though that we wound up with a few arrows in the back, it is what it is, and thank you a bunch.
Well, the first ever Mr. Hunk from Pahrump pageant was held this past Saturday night at Sanders Family Winery. BJ Hedrick-Irwin says that she was asked to put on a senior male competition after years of holding the Ms. Senior Golden Years pageant, which features females. Ben Fluker took the crown of Mr. Hunk from Pahrump by a landslide.
So without further ado, give a great big hand for Mr. Hunk of 2019, the one and only Ben Fluker.
I feel great. I'm surprised. I just enjoy working with everybody here, and I just really had a good time. I didn't expect this, but it's really nice. Well, a young lady named BJ asked me if I would enter, and my wife said, yes, he will. So that's how I got it.
Can I ask how old you are?
60 plus. They made me get rid of the gray and stuff. So I think that might have had something to do with it.
Yeah. So how's your wife feeling right now that her man is Mr. Hunk from Pahrump?
I think she's proud of me. I hope she's proud of me.
Yeah?
Yeah. I have 2 sons. I have several grandkids. My oldest is 26, my grandson, and my granddaughter is 18. Been coming back and forward out here over 40 years, and finally when I retired I decided to move out here, and I love it. I just completed my senior certification for training elderly, and that's what I try to do. You know, I like to see people feel good, live a good life, and I just want to help and contribute to the community. It was a little nerve-wracking because I've never done anything like this before. So.
A lot of women out here were super excited about some of your performances, especially your introduction.
Really? Yeah. Well, I still think it's always room for improvement.
So would you recommend this if BJ decides to do this next year?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But I never ran. I don't take no orders off of no kind of man. I'm only made out of flesh, blood, and bone. But if you want to start a rumble to try I'm on
One night I woke up and says, you know what? I need to do a Mr. Hunk of Pahrump pageant for the men, just something fun. And, you know, we had that little problem at the beginning. Thanks to Jack Saunders, our winery, they came to the rescue. But what we found out, Deanna, it got overheated. Our system got overheated. But the audience was wonderful, and the contestants were fabulous, and everybody seemed to enjoy it very, very much. My girls, it was Mary Ellen Swarovski singing, she was dynamite, and Terry Rogers and Maria opening it up, and then Maria Apodaca, she's dynamite all the time, you know that. And then Jackie Greco, who could do that better than her? They only had 2 rehearsals. And we didn't know if we'd ever get Roy to do anything or not, but
Boy, he did a good job.
Yeah, he did. I mean, I was so proud of him.
I just loved
He said,
him.
"Are you going to kill me?" When I said, no. Wasn't it wonderful? My judges did a wonderful job, and they enjoyed it every bit. You know, I was going to tell them to cut it shorter, you know, but it was fine.
News 25 Weather Cam is brought to you by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorney's Office in Pahrump. In a wreck, need a check? Call 702-877-1500.
All right, let's take a look outside on that famous weather cam. Skies are clear. There's some wind, though. We'll tell you about our forecast right after this break.
News 25 Weather is brought to you by Dairy Council of Nevada. The splash of cream in your coffee, the dollop of sour cream on your burrito, the melted toasty cheese on your pizza. Undeniably delicious, undeniably dairy. Enjoy what's real.
Hello and welcome back to News 25. I'm Michael Donohue with today's weather. In Las Vegas, we had a high of 94 degrees, the low of 68. Death Valley is still in those hundreds with a high of 102 and a low of 72. Amargosa at 89 with a low of 60 degrees. Beatty 85 with a low of 53. Goldsfield at 77.42. Tonopah 76.41. Carson City 66.39. Found 75.42. And finally Fernley a high of 70 with a low of 43 degrees. Now today in Pahrump, we had nice sunny skies. Our high today was 89 degrees. Winds coming out of the south at 17 miles per hour. Our humidity at 14% and our sunrise at 6:29 this morning. Now for tonight, we're expecting clear skies. It's currently 87 degrees outside. Our low tonight's going to get down to 65 degrees with winds coming out of the southeast at 18 miles per hour. 19% for our humidity and our sunset at 6:47 tonight. Now looking ahead to our 7-day, we do have some sunny skies from Thursday through Saturday. On Sunday, we're going to have some clouds rolling in. They're just going to hang out all through next Wednesday. Temperature-wise, we are starting to go up just a little bit. Thursday and Friday, we're going to see our highs at 84 degrees. We're going to work our way up to 90 degrees on Sunday. Then we're going to come right back down to about those mid-80s Monday through Wednesday. For our overnights, we're seeing a very similar pattern. Thursday and Friday, we're going to see a low of 57 degrees. Saturday through Monday, we're going to work our way up to about 64 degrees. Then we're just going to come back down to about those low 60s Monday through Wednesday. So we're seeing a little bump in our temperatures, but nothing too serious. So with that, we're going to throw back to the desk with Deanna.
Thanks so much, Michael. Well, that's a huge drop in those overnights. Must be the aliens. I don't know. I'm Deanna O'Donnell. That's your news. Good night.